Everyday period removes the stigma, the taboo, and awkwardness from reproductive health and introduces real empowering conversations for greater understanding. Hi, I am Shelly-Ann Weeks, the period lady, and I am going to be your host and guide as we navigate the murky waters of all things reproductive health. This week on Everyday Period, it's all about the fact that the period is not the enemy. Yes, I know it can feel like that, but trust and believe our periods are a very important, integral part of our overall health, of the way our body functions, and we should definitely do our best to manage it so that we can get the optimum benefit from having a period. Yes, there are benefits. So what do you call your period? How do you describe your period? You know, we are living in the AI age, so I asked ChatGPT. My question to ChatGPT was, what are some Jamaican colloquialisms for the menstrual cycle? Let's see what the robot said. Ant flow. Well, we know that. That is a popular one. Time of the month. Also a popular one. In schools, it's not ChatGPT, but in schools, they say that special time. When they're having that special time. Back to ChatGPT. They said some very strange ones. I've never seen some of these before, so I'm going to tell you about them. It said, me red. Me red. Me never hear nobody say me red yet. I describe that period. Another one which ChatGPT say is, me depan me period. That is a very direct one. That's not so much trying to hide the period. But yes, somebody will say me depan me period. One here, me depan me period. Yeah man, somebody will say me depan me period. This is another interesting one. She can't run both. Implying that, let me show you the explanation. It said, run both refers to cooking or sharing food, and this is sometimes used jokingly to imply that she's on her period and therefore not able to participate. I've never heard that one before. And finally, this was another interesting one. It says, shellac shop. Me never hear nobody use them period for say. Use shellac shop for say them dependent period before. You know if anybody who said that? The explanation that they have is slang implying that sexual activity is off limits due to menstruation. Shellac shop. I've never heard that term being used to describe periods, but I know the term, so it makes sense. Anyhow, put in the comment what terms you use to describe your periods. Everyday period starts now. So welcome back to Everyday Period, and this week's topic is your period is not the enemy. Now, I really want us to take a look at how important our period is to our overall health. It is really something that, every time we go to the doctor, regardless of what you go to the doctor for, they will ask you, when was your last period? That information is so vital because based on the answer to that question, that will inform how they proceed. So you really have to understand the impact that your period has on your overall health. And that's the reason why I really want us to rethink the way we see our periods. Now, I know that, a lot of persons experience difficult period. I have experienced difficult periods, painful periods. Not so much anymore, but back in the day, I used to have very painful, very heavy, big clots period. I mean, at some point, I passed a clot so big, I swore I gave birth. Because, I was holding on to the toilet for dear life. Because it was so painful passing that clot. And a lot of women go through difficult periods, and sometimes you just can't bother, you just want it to all end, and I get that. But the other side of that is if we stopped having period, just human beings stop having periods, what do you think that would mean for humans? Full stop. Exactly. We will cease to exist. So we really have to understand the significance that period has. And so one of the things that I want us to do, especially when we're talking to children, we're talking to little girls about their periods and what to expect, don't just focus on the pain. Help them to understand what it means now that their body is changing. Help them to place into context what it means that their body can do this thing. And so that will help them to navigate and to gain a better understanding of how important their period is. Okay? Now, one of the things that we really have to understand is the menstrual cycle overall, and how each phase of the cycle can make us feel and what we can do to have the best outcome in each phase of the cycle, right? I find that during the period phase, well, for me, during the period phase, I don't really have any symptoms anymore, but I used to have very painful, very heavy periods. And I found that after I changed my relationship with food, my periods got pain-free. They were much shorter. They were 11 days before. They're 3 days now, sometimes 4 days. And they are no pain, no discomfort, no symptom, nothing. And there's no clots. I got rid of the clots. And I was very, very proud of that personal achievement, because I'm telling you, I went through it with some difficult, heavy periods. And I know a lot of people are going to ask, and Shelly, what did you do to change the way you eat? I'm going to tell you. Right now, most of my nutrition comes from plants. So I eat fruits and vegetables, a whole heap of them. Throughout the day, I eat about 80% fruits and vegetables. And I eat seafood, but I don't eat any other meat. I don't eat chicken, I don't eat pork, I don't eat beef, nothing else. But I will eat fish and I eat shrimp. But most of my nutrition comes from plants. I love green, anything green. Anybody know me knows the callaloo to me thing. Me is a callaloo. And I really try my hardest to hunt for the nutrition. I struggle with anemia. I still struggle with anemia. Anemia has been a challenge for me from I was a child until now. I have anemia problems. So what I do for that is I take an iron supplement, and periodically I'll go and get intravenous iron. And so I really try to stay on top of my iron, but sometimes it's not where it needs to be. I checked it the other day and it was low, so now I'm back on my supplement, and I went and got the injection. So that is something that I'm still dealing with. I exercise as well. Exercise has become a part of my life. I still don't have a good relationship with exercise, I'm not gonna lie to you, but I really try to do something every single day, if it's even just go for a 20-minute walk. So I'm trying to get my exercise on. I hate the gym. Every time I go to the gym, it don't work out. I'm really trying, because I want to get more into lifting weights, but that is another challenge that I'm trying to do something about, because I know it is the consistency that's going to make the difference. And so it is something that I'm actively working on. I still don't get to the right perfection of it yet, but happy to say that I live pain-free. I do not have pain with my periods. I do not have any sort of cramps or back pain or any of those things that I used to have before I changed my relationship with food. And my periods are very manageable. They come every month. I don't have any issue. One big thing, I absolutely do not do dairy. No dairy products at all. And I think that was a significant thing for me, because I loved cheese. I would have cheese with my fruit. I was a cheese eating fool. And so since I stopped eating dairy, a few things happened. Not only did my periods stop being so painful, I also stopped having yeast infections. I also stopped having back pain generally. Even outside of my period, I used to have back pain. I have scoliosis. I have no back pain at all anymore. And even more significantly, my skin cleared all the way up. I used to have sinus issues. My sinuses were always blocked up. And I stopped using my asthma pump. I had asthma for a very long time. I had to walk with a pump for a while. I stopped using that completely. So I'm just saying that to say that if you know what you're doing, you can really make some changes in your life, so you can have good, healthy, symptom-free, pain-free periods. The next part of the cycle is my favorite part of the cycle, which is the follicular phase. During the follicular phase, that's right after your period ends, for like about 7 days. Oh my goodness, man, I am on high energy. I am ready to do all the things. I have a lot of energy. I can exercise harder. I can concentrate more. A lot of the challenges that I normally have with keeping up cognitively through the follicular phase, I'm ticking, I'm going, my energy is good, I'm eating good, I'm living good, I'm moving fast, everything is great. And then we get into ovulation. No, listen, I know when I start ovulating, when all of a sudden my body starts scratching me, the scratch I'm talking about, the itch I'm talking about. And so during ovulation, yes, man, I'm very, very aroused. Oh, Lord Jesus. Yes, for sure. And what you need to remember as well, that during ovulation, that is when you're most fertile. So if you're having sexual activity during ovulation, then the likelihood of you getting pregnant increases, right? So bear that in mind. So if you're not trying to have any kids, don't make your body tricky. Your body will lead you astray. Just saying, right? They make you call people you don't talk to a long time or so. And say yes to some date where you're never supposed to say yes to, and so just bear that in mind, right? During ovulation, sometimes you're not thinking with a big brain. Okay. And then we get into the luteal phase. Now for me, during the luteal phase, I am just on go slow. I call it camber. Something will take me 20 minutes to do, take me 3 hours to do. I start and I just don't have any energy. And I get things done. I don't feel sick. I just feel like I'm moving in slow motion. Something that I would normally just be up and ready to do. I have mental meetings with myself, trying to tell myself, all right, you have to get up now. And so I really try to adjust my schedule in a way that when I get to my luteal phase, I don't have any major deadlines that I have to meet. Sometimes it's unavoidable because, everything is not in my control. But where I can control it, I try not to have any major happenings or any deadline that I have to meet during that phase, because I'm telling the truth, you just want to put everything off and go lie down. So I am normally on go slow. Exercise is the same thing. I go for the walks. That really helps. So keep on going for your walks. Try to be very, very mindful of what you're eating at the time. That's when you start to crave all of the sugar things, and you want ice cream and cake and all of those kind of things. If you have a sweet tooth, like personally, I'm more of a salty, crunchy tooth. I always have something salty and crunchy. I like my foods tangy, so I like tart things. But generally speaking, in the luteal phase, that is usually when your body wants to slow down. So if you can adjust your schedule so that you can move a little slower during that time, you will definitely appreciate it. But generally speaking, if you know your body, then you will know how to navigate. And if you have a partner who's in tune with your body, then they will know how to support you. And listen, I know say I have some good man out there where I pay attention to those things. And so I say, hi sir, big up yourself. Because the people them who don't have any behavior, those type of men, the one who keep on buy podcast equipment and company internet comes to some crazy things, we're not talking about those. We're talking about the good proper man who really want to ensure that the person with whom he shares body is okay. He's doing his best to help them and make sure that they have everything that they need. We big them up and we say thank you, because the support is really helpful during this time of the month. So the period is not the enemy. You just have to understand it. As a matter of fact, if you want to see it as an enemy, go strategic on it, right? Figure it out, see what you can do to build, know how you can help yourself, get the tools that you need around you, get the nutrition, get the rest, exercise, drink your water, mind your business, and you're frightened to see how you manage your period nice. Alright? Don't move. More everyday period after this. Welcome back. I am the period lady, and we are talking about the fact that your period is not the enemy. But we have to take a look at why we think it is in some cases. If we look at some of the cultural norms and beliefs that we have around periods, we can see why we think that it is the enemy, and we can see how those sort of beliefs has shaped the way we see our periods. So let's talk about it. First thing is, we need to keep it a secret. Spoke about that before. Especially from men. Spoke about that before. Men already knows that we have period. So trying to keep it a secret just don't make no sense. The jig is up, the secret is out. Them already knows that we have period. So where we are hide it from, right? And the other thing is, if they know what's going on, they can help. I know all them and them are junk, you know. I mean, because the junk them have podcast material now and them have mic and so them can come on podcast and they talk as if they're representing for all of the men. But you have some genuinely good, awesome men who really would like to know that if you're in pain, he will do whatever he can to help you. Make use of that resource. Okay? And all of them thinks a period or something is gone. Trust and believe. Alright? Which brings me to the second point. There are some men in Jamaica who believes that, and it's not even just men alone, you know, some Jamaicans, let me rephrase. There are some Jamaicans who believe that when a woman is on her period, she's not supposed to be doing certain activities, especially activities that affect the rest of the family. I had a man tell me straight up that when a wife is on her period, they have a room around the back, that she occupy that room while she's on her period, and she don't come out, and she don't cook no food for the family, she don't touch anything else because whatever she touches become unclean. Now, those beliefs still exist, and they find the requisite verses in the Bible to help them to bolster their belief. And if that is what you believe in your house, I can't tell for you in your house. But what I will say, generally speaking, I find that belief to be very backward and it's no longer applicable in modern life. And as a matter of fact, there's a lot of women bleeding while doing amazing things in the world right now. There's a female prime minister right now signing a law while bleeding, and it's wonderful. There's a female astronaut right now with a tampon in her panty, while in her vagina, let me say it properly, while she's astronauting. There is a surgeon right now have on a pad while she is saving somebody's life during that surgery. So having a period does not mean you have to lock yourself away and stop doing everything in life. We already know that. And if that's what you believe and what you want to do with your life, do it, you know. I never tell people what to do with their own life. I just always have a problem when they start using their own personal beliefs to make recommendations for everybody else. Yeah, I said it. Another thing that is a very, very big topic is disposal. No, I cannot forget. I saw this man, big and bright, on TikTok. Say, ladies, why you have the pad them in the garbage can and you're not throwing them away? You don't want a man come into the bathroom and see that. And I responded to him the video. I said, well, sir, if you go in at the bathroom and you see pad in the garbage can, empty the garbage. And I offended a lot of people. I didn't only offend men, I offend women. And like I said, I'm not the rule maker of what happens in everybody else's house, but in my house, if there's a man coming to my house and them looking into my garbage and they buck up on pad, them just keep it to themselves and quietly empty it. That is all. This topic is so passionate and so divisive that people don't even understand how it is impacting young people. I'm going to school and teachers are telling me that girls are refusing to throw their soil pads in the garbage because if it goes into the garbage, it somehow makes the garbage dirtier. Say what now? How? Do you know what people put in garbage? Exactly. So they're like, oh well, miss, but miss, and then they say to me, Miss, so it's not enough that they take it off and they roll it up and they wrap it up in the packaging. They have to now wrap it up in tissue. One girl says she walk with a piece of newspaper because she wrap it in a newspaper. Then she tie up it in her bag and then she put it in her bag and she carry it home because she can't throw it out her road. So I said, so you never forget taking it out of your bag when you carry it home. She said she forget already, and of course it's about. You know what's gonna happen if it stays in her bag for days and come on, right? And so I'm like, so why you don't want to throw it in garbage? Like, no, miss, you can't throw them something there in the garbage, miss, because the man them might see it. And I'm hearing that excuse most of the time. It's always about the man them seeing it. And I would like to know, serious question, who are these men going around searching garbage for menstrual products? I want to see their pictures. I want to know what them look like. Yeah. Because if you are going to go around and search garbage for menstrual products so that you can make a thing about it, I really need to know who you are personally so we can avoid you. Yeah, I said it. Okay? The truth is, it is garbage. Put it in the garbage. It is easier for everybody who has to deal in the sanitation business, because what you do not want to do is to flush it, because that's going to cause plumbing issues. And then because you're tucking it away in different spaces inside the bathroom, now the janitor have to go in there and hunt where the smell is coming from and find it in our place up on the roof. They're so stuck in our little corner somewhere. I mean, who is that helping? So stop leading the children astray. It's garbage. Throw it in the garbage. Yeah, I said it. Like I said, this is what you want to do in your yard, you know. It's about public spaces. Okay? Of course, this is another controversial one. Bad man down bed with him baby mother rag. And the people them who believe that women's underwear cannot be washed with all the other laundry in the house. Now let me put on the iPad and sit up straight just for a minute. Because, say what now? What is it that is inside of a woman's underwear that makes it, how is it going to defile the rest of the wash? And if so, how so? Now, it is very important to me for me to be very clear. I grew up with the same thought process. I was taught it too, and I fought against it. Then you know why I fought against it? Because I grew up in a house that had boys in it. And do you know what the boys do when they take off their underwear? They put it in the wash. And I have seen their underwear, and my one cleaner than for them one. But me didn't have to wash my underwear as soon as I take it off. For them underwear have all sorts of marks and things on it. Mine didn't, because I knew how to clean myself. So I do not understand where this originated from. Where not only is it that you have to take off your underwear and wash it same time as a woman. If you don't do that, that somehow signifies say you're big and nasty. Me say woman cuss other woman already because them have a line full of underwear. Clean underwear when she washing, but irrelevant. She have a line full of underwear because she put on the whole like panty them and wash it one time. So, yeah, we do not have that kind of smoke when we say boxers on the line. And I guarantee you say the boxer then the dirtier than the panty them. Me not asking about that because man don't know of where them bottom. Yeah, I said it. And when them go out and road go piss, they do not even wipe. So them underwear is full of urine and full of defecation. And for them underwear gets to stay in the garbage, in the wash. In the garbage, because that's where it's supposed to go. But their underwear gets to stay in the wash until laundry day. But we have to take off our underwear and wash it same time. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Anyhow, I am just going to say this. There are people who believe that underwear are not even supposed to be washed in a washing machine. Why? Do you know that you actually have a setting on the machine for underwear? Yes, I use it all the time because I don't wash nothing with my hand. So, and I've not had a yeast infection in almost a decade. And the reason why I used to have a lot of yeast infections before is because of my diet. And I changed my diet and changed my life and stopped having yeast infections. I'm just saying that if you are still living in the space where you watch for say over underwear in the wash and I make a thing about it, that's a you problem. Yes. All right, the last thing that I want to talk about, and I really want to talk about this. I'm talking about, if you're just joining, I'm talking about some Jamaican cultural norms that makes it difficult for us to manage our periods. I remember I was in the supermarket and I saw a lady. She wasn't directly in front of me. She was there was a lady in front of me and then her. And the young man was packing her groceries. And she had a roll of tissue, bar of soap, pack of pads. And he put the roll of tissue, the bar of soap, and the pack of pads in one bag. And he was then putting that bag inside of her. Because you know sometimes they make like a little bag with the plastic bag. And the lady went off on the man. Oh, she put the pad with the rest of the things then. And he started to explain him say, no, I separated it because it's in a separate bag. See, I put it in a separate bag. She did not want the pad to be in the same bag with the bar of soap and the tissue. Say what? And suppose you say, oh, she go in the supermarket. You not think him split pan her? Yes. Craziness. And I don't know why she behaved like that, because she could have simply said to him, without it becoming such a thing, put that in a bag by itself, even though it's full. Me think it's full, but she would have asked him to pack it in a bag by himself. I don't think he would have fought her on that, but what he did made sense. It's not like he put it in the bag with the shrimp. He put it in the bag with like products, which is a bar of soap and a roll of toilet paper, and the lady went off on him. Fully went off on him, because those products are not supposed to mix with anything. And then it's not even a used product. At that point, it's just plastic, because the bag not touch nothing. The actual pads not touching anything. It is inside of its wrapper, and then the wrapper is inside of a bag. Yeah, we have a lot of unlearning to do. This period thing. Anyhow, I just really wanted to say that it's time for us to change some things, because this is something that is naturally occurring. We didn't do this to ourselves. We didn't choose this, and trust me, if a lot of us could have chosen it, we would have chosen otherwise. But it is a natural part of our bodily functions, and we do not treat any other bodily functions the way we treat periods. And so we really have to just build. Seriously, just build. Right? Anyhow, I'll be right back with Ask the Period Lady. It's time for Ask the Period Lady. Of course, this is my favorite segment of the show, because this is where I get to hear from you. Now, Ask the Period Lady, if you would like to have your own question answered right here on Everyday Period, all you have to do is send it to us. Send your questions to embraceherflow@gmail.com. The information will be on the screen, embraceherflow@gmail.com, and I will definitely try to answer your question for you. This week's question is coming from Kelly. Hi, Kelly. Kelly wants to know, why do I feel so emotional or overwhelmed right before my period? Is it normal, or is something wrong with me? You're in your luteal phase, Kelly. Yes, man, let me just tell you about the luteal phase, man. During that phase, you don't have as much estrogen in your system, and your energy levels are going to feel low, and you just feel like you're moving slow. And don't worry, that is just how you feel in that phase. There are things that you can do, but you should also give yourself an opportunity to just take it easy if you can. I know your week, your month might not allow for you to actually be very, very active. To slow down too much, but ensure that you're eating a lot of iron. Make sure that you're eating lots of green vegetables. Make sure that you go for a little walk. You probably can't manage any strenuous exercise, but go for a walk outside. Being in the sunlight will really help, because your vitamin D is gonna help to make you feel a little bit more energized. But you feel a little slower because you're in your luteal phase, your period soon start. So what you can do in the meantime, you can just try to keep your energy up by making sure that your nutrition is sound and you're getting enough rest. And if you're Kelly's partner, this is where you can love on Kelly. This is where you can make sure that all of our creature comforts are there. Make sure you give her cuddles if she like that. Make sure that you're there for her and help her to get through this phase, because this is where she's going to be feeling some discomfort, right? So whatever you can do to minimize that will be very, very, very much appreciated. All right, Kelly? I hope I answered your question for you. And remember, if you want your question to be featured on Ask the Period Lady, definitely send me an email, embraceherflow@gmail.com. we are going to wrap in a few minutes, but before we do, I want to tell you about something that's going on inside of Her Flow. May 25th is when we are going to be having our Red Run 5K and Fun Run fundraiser, and we want your help. We need you to come out, lace up your shoes, bring a friend, and just come and enjoy the run. Only $3,000, and bring a crew from your office and have yourself a group and come and have a nice time. You can bring the kids as well. We're going to be having a great day at Hope Gardens from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Lots of fun activities there. And listen, if you're a serious 5K runner, you can come. But if you just want to come for the fun on the outside and to be in Hope Gardens, because you know it's beautiful in the morning, you can definitely come and participate as well. I'm going to put the link right here on the screen. Visit our website, herflowfoundation.com. All the information is there for you to register. And if you're a company and you want to come and participate, there's an option there for you as well. Go ahead and click the link, and I'll see you on the 25th of May for our Red Run 5K and Fun Run at Herflow. All right, make sure I see you there. Again, the link is herflowfoundation.com. Go and go look, click the link, and I'll see you at Red Run on the 25th. And that's it for another episode of Everyday Period. I want to say thank you so much for joining me for another great episode. And remember, period is not the enemy. All right? So make sure that you're good to yourself and don't be stressed out too much, because that's not going to help your period feel any better. Okay? Okay. All right. So before I go, I just want to remind you that reproductive health is not just about periods or pregnancy. It's about how we take care of ourselves physically, mentally, emotionally, even socially. And as we navigate through our lives from puberty to menopause and everything in between, our reproductive health plays a major role in our overall well-being. So be kind to yourself and each other. And until next time, make sure you take care of yourself. I'll see you at Red Run. Visit the website. Make sure you sign up. Bring your friends. Take care. Walk good. I am the Period Lady. Later.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and email us at embraceherflow@gmail.com to stay in touch.